Okay. Okay. So recording has started, is it?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So इस क्लास में करेंगे क्या वो पहले बता देता हूँ. So let me set the expectation first. In last class we have directly jumped into the concept of I and everything else. So एक premise set करना रह गया था. If we are studying superimposition, why at all there is a need to study superimposition? From where this terminology has come? What is the significance? तो ये सब के बारे में थोड़ी देर बात करेंगे. And that will be a nice warm up. उसके बाद दो concept I would like to deep dive into. So if you see, obviously we are not studying Adhyas Bhashyam. I am not qualified to do that, take classes on that. So I am talking about what can be experienced, whatever I could reflect, the way I understood the topic. So in the journey of doing that, I discovered some points which could be used as very strong reflection pointers. So whatever I'm planning to do in these classes would be around those reflection pointers only. Now, having said that, so in the first line itself, the Adhyas Bhashyam, even if I am not trying to teach Adhyas Bhashyam, I am not trying to approach Adhyas Bhashyam from any angle. Still, since our what do I say? Our very, very, very respected, revered Acharya Shankar has written it, and from that, the terminology, from that, the concept came to us. I cannot avoid that. So in the first line appears, if you see the first line, it starts like Yushmatashmat Pratyaya Gocharayoho Vishay Vishayinoho Tamak Prakasavad Viruddha Savavyoho. So it goes like this. Yesterday, in the last class, what we did, we touched upon Yushmatashmat Vishay Vishayinoho. Now, Tamak Prakasavad and Viruddha Savavyoho is something which are also very, very, very strong reflection pointers. So I wanted to double click on these two words, which would be the core of the class today. Lastly, I'll talk about a concept called field of cognition, which basically is the Pratyaya Gochara term. Okay. So having said that, I'll start with the premise, but before that, I would request you to switch on your cameras. Without your cameras on, I cannot take class. Sorry. मुझे मतलब वो हो जाता है, मैं खो जाता हूँ लेते लेते. नंबर 1 तो कैमरा ऑन नहीं होगा तो मैं तो जा रहा हूँ. ठीक है. नंबर 1. नंबर 2,
एक्चुअली आई एम ट्रैवलिंग, आई एम नॉट इन गुरुग्राम, आई एम वृंदावन.
किसी का फेस देख के बात कर लूं. Second is make it interactional. Now it's better. I can now I get somebody to speak to. So second, you have to make it interactional like the last class. And in last class, I don't know whether that made you reflect after you left the class or not. But if it made you reflect, then only whatever I'm trying to do succeeds. In this class also, I am promising to give you very, very strong reflection pointers. जिसपे आप reflect करोगे, obviously अद्वैत में, non-dualism में आपका पकड़ will be stronger. ठीक है? And the third point which I wanted to again reiterate, before getting into this class, आपका जो पुराना वेदांत का knowledge है, उसको आपको बाहर रख के आना पड़ेगा. Because I am taking a different approach altogether. I am taking a different route altogether. ठीक है? So having said that, we'll start the class. ठीक है? So ये superimposition कहाँ से आता है? That's the first question, first topic. I would like to. आज बहुत सारे पैसे दिख रहे हैं हमको.
महाराज जी मन नहीं लग रही क्या पढ़ाई में?
किसी को आप ऑन करने दो. Sorry. Otherwise, I don't think it will be very effective. I'll tend to lose the flow.
Hey, camera किसी को आओ. हम अभी आ गए. I have to do few office work.
मेरा बहुत लिमिटेड नेटवर्क है, मैं तो फ्रोजन हो रहा है वैसे भी.
somebody, at least one person. ठीक है, चलेगा. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And see, देखो आप अगर ज्वाइन कर रहे हो these classes, आप प्लीज ट्राई करो at least to keep your cameras on. That will encourage me. मैं तो नेटिव वेदांता टीचर हूँ नहीं, neither I have taken any class in my whole life. So with this I am starting. समझ रहे हो? So that will be an encouragement for me as well. ठीक है. Having said that, we'll directly get into the topic. ठीक है. मुझे before getting into the concept of superimposition, where does it come from? I'll have to start with the point which is called philosophy. What is philosophy? In English, it's very easy. Philosophy means the love for Sophia. Sophia is knowledge, the goddess of knowledge. Philosopher, we all are philosophers. If we are philosophers, then we are the lovers of Sophia. In Indic thoughts, the philosophy has been termed as darshana. Darshana का मतलब होता है point of view. So after a certain point, what happens? You tend to ask certain complex questions of life. Okay? And when I call out these questions, you'll be able to relate that one or more number of questions you have asked, you have come to in your life. That's why you are attending these classes. You have come to Vedanta. May not be in these language, but in some language, in some form or the other, these are our questions. ये क्वेश्चन के आंसर हम ढूंढ रहे हैं, इसीलिए वी आर कॉल्ड सीकर्स, जिज्ञासु. व्हाट आर द क्वेश्चंस? सबसे पहले हु एम आई, इसको बोलते हैं आत्म विचारा, जीव विचारा. उसके बाद व्हाट इज ऑल दिस, जगत विचारा. ठीक है. उसके बाद आता है हु क्रिएटेड दिस, हु क्रिएटेड दैट. जो हम लोग आई जगत जो लास्ट टाइम किए थे, हु क्रिएटेड, हु इज अ क्रिएटर. उसके बाद so this is the topic, this is the theme again and again comes in the human life, that we are in bondage. This life, the world is not fair. We have sorrow. Sorrow is reality. So what is sorrow? This is the fourth question. Fifth question, is a cessation of sorrow possible or not? If yes, sixth question comes, what is the way? So ये question को लेके whichever body of text has discussed in detail, try to answer, try to approach these questions are called darshana. Darshana का मतलब होता है point of view. Point of view on what? On these questions. अब दर्शन की बात हम करेंगे. दर्शन की बात में मतलब there are many darshanas which have developed in this country over time, but there are 12 types of philosophies which are prominent ones. उनके बारे में everybody discusses. If you take a course of Indic philosophy, they will basically try to teach these 12 philosophical schools. उसमें 6 आता है नास्तिक schools में, 6 आता है आस्तिक schools में. अब नास्तिक आस्तिक का फंडा क्या है? नास्तिक का मतलब ये है कि the schools which have accepted Vedas to be an authority, they are called astic schools. And people who have not taken or who have not accepted Vedas as the authority, supreme authority, they are called Nastic schools. Okay? Now, having said that, there are 6 Nastic schools. I'll start with that. I'll just give you the names. यहाँ पे कोई फायदा नहीं है deep dive करके. ठीक है? Then I'll give you 6 Astic schools. Within the Astic schools, I'll try to talk about 2 to create a premise of what we are trying to discuss today. 6 Nastic schools क्या होते हैं? Number 1 is Jain. उसके बाद we start from normally Charvaka, which is a materialist school. उसके बाद Jain schools. Then there are 4 Buddhist schools. So after Buddha died, whatever Buddha taught has been collated into 3 books: Sutta Pitaka, Vinaya Pitaka, and Abhidhamma Pitaka. The followers of these 3 books are called Sautrantika, Vaibhashika, and Yogacara Buddhism, followers of these 3. And there is a school which later on developed, which has taken best of all 3 worlds, all 3 books, which is called Madhyamika, the middle path. मतलब सारे बुक से लेके हमने अपना थॉट स्कूल ऑफ थॉट बना लिया. उसके बाद आता है 6 Astika schools, which are the schools which have accepted the authority of Vedas. इसमें सबसे पहले So this timeline I tried to discuss towards the end of last class. अगर किसी को refer back करना है, please कर लीजिए. So the first class, the first school is Samkhya school, followed by Yoga school. Now this Samkhya and Yoga में क्या होता है? One is a science, another is a practical side of it. Followed by Nyaya, which is the logicians, Vaisheshika. इसका भी background मैंने थोड़ा बहुत touch किया था. Then comes Purva Mimamsha and Uttara Mimamsha. Now, to study this, to approach this topic, superimposition, we have to understand, or to study the genesis of superimposition, we have to understand a bit on Purva Mimamsha and Uttara Mimamsha. So, Purva Mimamsha is a school which was developed by Rishi Jaimini. So, if you take Vedas, Vedas are divided, or Vedas contain three distinct divisions, if I may put it in that way. The first part of Vedas are called Samhitas, जहाँ पे सारे mantras है, mantras of different gods and goddesses. उसके बाद आता है Brahman. Brahman part contains the way of worshipping those gods and goddesses. ये जो part हो गया, this part is called Karma Kanda. And the other part, which is Upanishad, which is Vedant, which is the third major part in the Shruti Shastras, in Vedas, is called Vedanta or Jnana Kanda. ऐसा क्यों बोलते हैं? Because the first two parts, which are like our mantras and the ways of worshipping, these are the ritualistic part of it. It talks about like how you, through rituals, you can earn good merits, and with merits you can go to better worlds, if I may put it that way. You can go to heaven, then better heaven and better heaven. So this is Karma Kanda for you. Then comes the Jnana Kanda. It talks about, so this Upanishad part actually discusses about the philosophical questions that I mentioned as the premise of this class. That who am I? What is world? What is the relationship between I and the world? So Purva Mimamsha and Uttara Mimamsha are two schools which are built on, the first one, Purva Mimamsha, is built on the first two parts that we discussed. One is the Karma Kanda part of Veda, and Uttara Mimamsha has been developed based on Upanishad. Now, another thing, just for your information, I don't know how much attention you are paying because I'm not being able to see your faces. So, आप बस एक चीज for your knowledge, इसको you may want to keep it noted. For the other four schools, whatever has been written by the founders of the schools, like Nyaya school was founded by Gautama. He has written a sutra called Nyaya Sutras. Vaisheshika has been founded by, or if I may put it in that way, started by Rishi Kanada. He has written Vaisheshika Sutras. These sutras are taken as the pramanas. Though they agree to the main content, like what Vedas have to say, but ऐसा नहीं है कि they are taking Veda as the pramana directly. Their sutras are their pramana. Uttara Mimamsha and Purva Mimamsha में आके क्या हो जाता है? Uttara Mimamsha में we have heard this phrase, Vedanta Nama Upanishad Pramana. So Upanishad is the pramana, and similar is the case in Purva Mimamsha, where Purva Mimamsha sutras are based on, they take pramana as the Karma Kanda. So within this, now a bit on sutra. What is sutra? Sutra is very succinct mystic aphorism in which the founders of these schools have encapsulated their thoughts and left for the world. Again, sutra, since these sutras are very succinct, very cryptic, if I may say, these need a bit of unpacking. So यही unpacking होता है in the bhashya. So if I say this sutra for Vedanta, which is Upanishad, has been written by Rishi Badarayana, Veda West, the bhashya has been written by Adi Shankaracharya. Then these bhashyas are also not that, what do I say, easily understandable. That's why there is another level deeper explanation needed, that is called Tika. In our case, in case of Brahma Sutra and Advait Vedanta Bhashya, the Tikas has been written by Sureshwar Acharya. Sureshwar Acharya was one of the disciples of Adi Shankara. So this Brahma Sutra, this book, if you see, which is the basis of the philosophy that we are talking about, this is the Vedanta philosophy or Uttar Mimamsa philosophy. इसमें the sutra itself starts with Athato Brahma Jigyasa. अभी Athato word में there are two words. It's a sandhi, Atha and Ata. Atha basically means now. It's an auspicious way of telling now. This now is connected with you as a seeker having acquired fourfold qualification. And उसके बाद जो Atha आता है, which is therefore, this therefore needs the reader. So basically, this therefore establishes a need of the reader to be connected with the first sutra. आपने कभी कोई sentence therefore से start होते होते नहीं देखा होगा. So exactly that is what is done by Adhyas Bhashyam by Adi Shankaracharya. He writes a grand preamble to Brahma Sutra through this Adhyas Bhashyam. What does it do? It connects the reader with the first word, first sutra of Brahma Sutra. Hence, so therefore an inquiry into Brahman, therefore से पहले आता क्या है? A problem comes. वो problem has been established in this sutra. What is the problem? We have discussed it in detail in the last class. There is an asmat, there is an usmat. But this dichotomy, asmat and usmat, is real. Everybody feels it. Everybody is absolutely bang on with this particular dichotomy, I and everything else. It's real. The difference is also real. But the understanding about I and the understanding about everything else is absolutely wrong. जो हम already establish कर चुके हैं in the last class. So ये जो error है, ठीक है, मैंने आज से 5 साल पहले जिनसे ये सबसे पहले जिनसे ये सुना था, जिनसे पढ़ा था, तो he named it utter stupidity. ठीक है. So since there is that stupidity, then we need to run an inquiry into Brahman is the premise. So there comes the word, this stupidity has been named, or the cause of the stupidity has been named as superimposition or adhyas by Adi Shankaracharya. वहां से आता है adhyas. Adhyas, since Adi Shankaracharya named this error as superimposition, today in this class we are trying to appreciate the topic. फिर से मैं बोल देता हूं, I am not teaching you Adhyas Bhashyam. I am not qualified to do that. Please don't expect that. I'll just give you some pointers from Adhyas Bhashyam which will make you think, which will make you reflect more. ठीक है, तो ये था Adhyas Bhashyam का background, textual background, जिसके लिए हम Adhyas Bhashyam पढ़ रहे हैं. अभी we'll move to the next topic, which is the Tama Prakashavat, from which the idea of the name of this class came, opposing like light and darkness. So at this point, I feel there is a need to summarize the last class a bit. Look, क्या किए थे last class में? Last class में we started with this world and tried to bucketify that world and whatever is perceived as experience into two buckets. One bucket we called asmat, which is I, another bucket we called usmat. And we saw everything, whatever we used to consider as I, like this body, my thoughts, my mind, my intellect, everything I ended up classifying on the other side, which is everything else. And still there was one I which stood at the middle, at the center, which was the unchanging part, which relatively unchanging part, to which everything else, which was classified in the other bucket, was appearing to be encountering. Encountering का मतलब क्या है? it was starting, then it was finishing. बीच में for some time it was staying. ये हमने किया था. Now a bit of we'll discuss the nature of this eye. ठीक है? If Acharya Shankar has said that it's of the nature of light, why did he say that it's of the nature of this eye is the nature of light? तो इसके लिए हम सबसे पहले समझेंगे द नेचुरल मैकेनिज्म ऑफ एक्सपीरियंस. अच्छा, कोई कैमरा नहीं ऑन कर सकता है क्या? सी आई एम फाइंडिंग इट डिफिकल्ट टू स्पीक. ऐसे आई नो शिल्पी दी योर मतलब your camera is on, but with only one camera on, I am serious.
I'm also there.
So you say something, otherwise how would I know? ठीक है? Okay. See, again, this is a sincere request. अगर आप कैमरा 2-4 ऑन नहीं रहेंगे तो I really find it difficult to speak. क्योंकि मेरा वो है ही नहीं ऐसा लेक्चर मोड में बात करने की आदत. ठीक है, good. Now I see some faces, ठीक है, and some expressions in the faces. So that gives me some enthu now. अच्छा, यहाँ पे ना अभी मैं जो अगले 15 मिनट में बोलने वाला हूँ, this is also going to be as hard hitting as the last class. I make you think like locating eye and located eye. ठीक है, मुझे पता नहीं आप फिर से जाके उसके बारे में कुछ सोचे नहीं सोचे, but that is something I really felt that was accepted in a very good way in the previous class. वैसा ही कुछ मैं फिर से बोलने वाला हूँ. This is even more complicated, even more counterintuitive. इसीलिए अगर आप ऑन ना भी करो तो try to listen to it, try to follow it carefully. ठीक है? आप तो we'll take our waking world experience. इससे start करेंगे. Anything that you see, we'll start from that point. So, what is the mechanism of experience? Suppose I am seeing this laptop or mobile, whatever device you are seeing. आपके सामने जो भी है आप देख लो. यहाँ पे, whenever you are seeing the laptop, you are experiencing the laptop. What's happening? A shadow of that laptop, that object, whatever the object is, that comes to falls on your retina. It's an image, right? मतलब if you agree, just say yes. ठीक है? It's an image.
Yes.
My eyes. The laptop does not come to my eyes. Only the image comes. It's an image, nothing more than an image. Which one is more important to me as the experiencer? Laptop or the image? The image. This image is different for each and every sentient beings. As human being, the way I am seeing the laptop, as snake, I'll see the laptop in a different way. As a cow, I'll see the laptop in a dichromatic form. दो ही कलर दिखता है गायों को. ठीक है? As fish eye lens आपने देखा है. If I try to see the laptop, it will be different. So I don't know how actually the laptop looks. Whatever I'm forming or whatever I'm seeing, considering my world, is based on these pratyayas, these images. This is exactly called pratyaya in Vedantic languages, and what I'm seeing is called gochara. Okay. Now this pratyaya depends on who is seeing, who is perceiving, perceiver, and these are nothing more than images. Okay. This image is presented to the mind, then mind processes this image in consultation with ego and buddhi, in order to understand, in order to create an experience. क्या होता है? मैंने देखा, image आया मेरे आंखों पे, आने के बाद that image is matched with whatever memory I have accumulated so far in my life. Then there is a match found. Okay, this might be a laptop, and I do a conclusion. I get a conclusion through buddhi. Okay, there is a laptop, and this laptop becomes my experience. ठीक है? This laptop, this experience, how the laptop will look like will depend on who is looking at it. If a fish is looking at it, it will look like this. If a clam is looking at it, it will look like few multicolored dots, nothing else. So the world consists of these images only. इमेज ही है ये मतलब obviously you guys are agreeing to this. Now what happens in the dream state? In the dream state, what we see, so in the waking state we keep on recording these images, we keep on storing these images in our memory. When we sleep in the dream state, what happens, we access those images and start dreaming. Wahi image, it could be a static image, it could be an image in motion, right? वही इमेज से ये बनता है. सो अ ह्यूमन बीइंग कैनॉट सी, आप बोलोगे एग्जैक्टली जो मैंने देखा है वैसा, तो ऐसा भी हो सकता है कि वो मेरे, बट यू कैन डू सिमुलेशंस यूजिंग दोज इमेजेस लाइक लार्ज लैंग्वेज मॉडल्स. बट आप कैसे कभी ऐसे नहीं देखोगे अ लैपटॉप व्हिच इन फिशाई फॉर्म, ऐसे नहीं देखोगे. So that means the images that I collect in my waking world are the images that are seen, that are replayed in my dreams. Right? Do we agree to this? Yes? Very nice. So if you agree to this, मुझे आप मतलब ये क्वेश्चन का आंसर नहीं चाहिए. You just, अच्छा, Rajat has joined. Hi Rajat.
Yeah. Hi, Abhita, how are you?
Camera on. Good.
Pranam Maharaj.
Good to have you. Good to have you. अच्छा, so कहा था मैं, हाँ, तो these are images only. तो ये image जो आ रहा है, आप, so I'm now asking you a question. Question का आंसर आपको देना है नहीं देना है वो बात की बात है. आप पहले क्वेश्चन को समझिए, क्वेश्चन के ऊपर stay on the question for some time. इमेज है, इमेज से आई एम क्रिएटिंग अ वर्ल्ड इनसाइड, बट हाउ विद इन माई माइंड, इन माई ड्रीम वर्ल्ड, दैट इमेज लुक्स इल्यूमिन्ड. वहां पे लाइट कहां से आ रहा है? आप क्वेश्चन को समझो. आर यू एबल टू अप्रिशिएट द क्वेश्चन? इमेज ही तो है, यू आर कैप्चरिंग एन इमेज. इमेज में इल्यूमिनेशन कहां से आ रहा है? वेयर इज द लाइट कमिंग फ्रॉम? ट्यूबलाइट का इमेज खींच के अगर दीवार में टांग दोगे, would that be having the power to illumine the room? सन का फोटो ले लो, फोटो लेके टांग दो दीवार में, will that be able to illumine the room? The images that you collected in your waking world are forming your dream world. लेकिन how, question is how the dream world is being illumined. पहले आप क्वेश्चन को सोचो, आंसर आप जल्दी मत करो. दिस इज समथिंग आई हैव सीन इन द लास्ट क्लास. आपको थोड़ा जल्दी होता है आंसर देने की. Yes, Arnab. Now some interesting stuff is coming.
No, not interesting. I have not thought upon it. Just a thought came, so I wanted to share. You are telling this image, how is it getting illumined, right? Where is that light coming from?
If I'm
So
dreaming of
what I no, I've understood.
Yeah.
So what I was trying to think about it is, see, as per logic, we are telling all these. So as per one particular logic, if I think, our past memory of light versus darkness is prompting the mind to feel something like that. Who is so? As a thought, just a thought.
मेमोरी में, ठीक है, मेमोरी में क्या, मेमोरी में इमेज तो क्रिएट कर रहे हो ना, इमेज ही तो ले रहे हो. ये रेटिना में इमेज आ रहा है.
Image of light is what I'm saying. Image of light and versus darkness. Something. Suppose I'm seeing seeing a plant which is illuminated by the sun above, right? So that light, if you're talking about, it is past memory. Suppose it's night time, 9 o'clock. I go to the same tree. I can't look at it. So I am perceiving darkness there. So Are you speaking about that perception, so to say?
So you're saying that mind is creating the light as from its memory.
Yes.
Is it if
Yes.
if I have understood your proposition correctly?
Yes.
So
Rather,
now
further thought came that who is perceiving that light and dark color can be a question. Is that the question you're asking?
क्वेश्चन नहीं मेरा तो लाइट के बारे में ही क्वेश्चन था सीधा स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड आई वाज टॉकिंग अबाउट लाइट ओनली
Oh, so in that
Light कैसे?
straightforward, light is a memory.
लाइट इज अ मेमोरी दैट्स व्हाट यू आर सेइंग ठीक है
Yes.
ठीक है सो इसका सो इफ यू या संस्कृति पहले आंसर्स कलेक्ट कर लेते हैं उसके बाद आई विल गिव यू माय थॉट्स
मुझे
व्हाई
तो
दिस कैन बी पॉसिबल
क्वेश्चन ही थोड़ा वियर्ड लगा कि हम इस पे डिस्कशन ही क्यों कर रहे हैं कि हम इनर में इल्यूमिन हो रहा है, बाहर भी तो इल्यूमिन होता है, हम
बाहर
आउटर
तो
वर्ल्ड भी तो
external
देख
light
ही
है।
रहे हैं और इनर वर्ल्ड भी देख रहे हैं, तो इनर वर्ल्ड पे क्वेश्चन मार्क क्यों है?
बाहर बाहर क्वेश्चन मार्क इसलिए है संस्कृति वेरी नाइस क्वेश्चन मार्क इसलिए है आउटर वर्ल्ड द परसेप्शन ऑफ आउटर वर्ल्ड डिपेंड्स ऑन एन एक्सटर्नल इल्यूमिनेशन आप अभी सन है इसीलिए आप इसको देख पा रहे हो अगर कुछ जादू करके मैं इसको पूरा डार्क कर दूं आप कभी मतलब इंजीनियरिंग आर यू एन इंजीनियर इंजीनियरिंग फिजिक्स में एक डार्क रूम होता था आपको याद है
राइट
फिजिक्स लेबोरेटरी में एक डार्क रूम होता था एक छोटा सा कमरा लेबोरेटरी के अंदर उसमें अगर जाके बैठोगे लाइट ऑफ कर दोगे क्या देखोगे आप अंधेरा ही देखोगे ना दैट डिपेंड्स ऑन एक्सटर्नल लाइट एनीथिंग दैट यू सी डिपेंड्स ऑन एक्सटर्नल लाइट नहीं होगा एटलीस्ट सीइंग नहीं पॉसिबल है are you able to appreciate my question अभी
हाँ, मतलब
बहुत काउंटर इंट्यूटिव मैंने जब पहली बार ये सुना था ना मैंने भी बहुत काउंटर इंट्यूटिव लगा था ये कैसे हो सकता है लेकिन आई लिसन टू इट फ्रॉम समबडी सो आउट ऑफ रेस्पेक्ट मैं ये क्वेश्चन कर नहीं पाया आई थॉट ऑफ रिफ्लेक्टिंग व्हाई दिस कैन बी ट्रू रादर देन व्हाई दिस कैन बी फॉल्स मैंने ये सुना था आई डोंट नो वेदर यू हैव come across this Swami. If you have, you are lucky. A few videos of him are on YouTube. His name is Swami Paramananda Bharati. He is associated with Sringeri Shankaracharya Mutt. Before joining the Mutt, he used to be the HOD of physics in IIT Chennai. So I heard this concept from somebody of this stature. ठीक है So obviously तो ये हो गया संस्कृति आपका क्वेश्चन का आंसर आई थिंक यू गॉट दिस क्वेश्चन गॉट दिस आंसर अभी मैं अर्नब के पॉइंट पे आता हूँ
आई विल रिस्पेक्टफुली वेट
हाँ अर्नब पॉइंट ये है इफ यू आर सेइंग इट्स मेमोरी सो मेमोरी में मैं क्या स्टोर करता हूँ मेमोरी में मैं तो इमेज ही स्टोर करता हूँ ना इफ आई हैव टू सी दैट इमेज I need a light. फोटोग्राफ के ऊपर ठीक है लाइट का अगर मेमोरी भी है दैट कैन नॉट बी इल्यूमिन्ड लाइट का फोटो ले लिया सिर्फ लाइट का अब सन का फोटो ले लो वो फोटो स्टोर हो रहा है अंदर आप बोलोगे मोबाइल के स्क्रीन में तो सन का फोटो लूंगा तो सन ऐसे इल्यूमिनिंग ही दिखेगा इसके पीछे भाई पैनल में बैकलाइट होता है टीवी में बैकलाइट होता है एनी मेमोरी एनी इमेज ठीक है इज इट पॉसिबल फॉर एनी इमेज एनी मेमोरी टू बी रिवील्ड विदाउट एन इल्यूमिनेशन अगर Arnab, to come back to Arnab's point, if mind would have the capacity to recreate light externally, ठीक है तो फिर लाइट की जरूरत ही नहीं पड़ती तो हम बाहर भी अंधेरे में देख पाते ना मेमोरी इज व्हाट मेमोरी को आप मेमोरी जैसा समझो इमेज का ही मेमोरी है यस तमन्ना
अच्छा, मैं पूरे कॉन्टेक्स्ट को एक बार अपने सेंस पे समझना चाहता हूँ. मे बी इट माइट हेल्प इन संस्कृति और somebody else like me also, just to be sure कि we are all on the same page. आवाज क्लियर है ना मेरी?
हाँ हाँ हाँ, यस
हाँ,
यस यस
तो
यस.
व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू अंडरस्टैंड कि एग्जैक्टली हम क्या डिस्कस कर रहे हैं. पहला, कि जब हम इस वेकिंग वर्ल्ड में रहते हैं, देयर इज सम सोर्स ऑफ लाइट जिसका रिफ्लेक्शन हमारी रेटिना तक पहुंचता है और हमारा मेमोरी में वो सारा चीज हमको दिखता है. जब हम स्लीपिंग मोड में आ जाते हैं, वो ड्रीमिंग मोड में आते हैं, हमें बहुत कुछ दिखता है, पर यू आर आस्किंग वो सोर्स ऑफ लाइट क्या है. अब
करेक्ट.
सोर्स ऑफ लाइट को अगर समझना चाहते हैं तो अर्नब का जो रिस्पॉन्स था वो हमारी मेमोरी में स्टोर हो रहा है एज एन इल्यूमिन थिंग. लेकिन आपका अगेन काउंटर क्वेश्चन है कि वो भी तो हमें तभी दिखेगा जब कहीं से कोई लाइट का उसमें जाएगा
क्योंकि एट द एंड
टू
ऑफ
द
द इट्स एन इमेज
परसेप्टर.
ओनली.
हाँ, अगर इमेज फॉर्म में भी है, अगर मैंने कहीं पे भी अगर इमेज लेके रखा, जैसा आपका वे वाला डार्क रूम में अगर मैं चला जाऊँ इमेज लेके, तो मुझे वही वाला इमेज नहीं दिखेगा बिकॉज द सोर्स इज मिसिंग. So your query, or rather the thing that you're asking, is even in the sleeping mode, dreaming mode, is there a source of light, something that is different, or is it the seer who is probably projecting? और फिर अगेन आपने क्वेश्चन किया, अगर seer is projecting, in case suppose we do that, then why are we not doing it in the waking state? So क्या मैंने सारे कॉन्टेक्स्ट को कनेक्ट किया?
Absolutely, absolutely. You have beautifully summarized it. Basically, यही है, यही point है. So, any counter thought? Are we agreeing to this? Are we able to appreciate? Yeah, Sanskriti.
मुझे इसमें थोड़ा सा ऐड ऑन करना है. जो मुझे लग रहा है कि कोई भी आउटर वर्ल्ड या इनर वर्ल्ड हमारे थॉट्स के थ्रू इल्यूमिन तब हो रही है जब हमारा अटेंशन उस पे जा रहा है. जैसे ही अटेंशन जाएगा वैसे ही वो इल्यूमिन हो जाएगा. अगर वो अटेंशन ही नहीं है वहां पे तो वो डार्कनेस में है, वो चीज, वो थॉट.
Exactly. You have got the point. Attention, एक दिन मैं attention समझाऊंगा. Attention क्या होता है? अर्नब का क्वेश्चन सुन लेते हैं.
या सो तपन ने जो फाइनल कहा कि उस लाइट वाले इमेज को देखने के लिए भी और एक लाइट लगता है इन कोट्स. वहां पे मेरा एक प्रश्न यही आ रहा है कि आर वी कॉलिंग दैट लाइट और आर वी कॉल बिकॉज टू पे अटेंशन एज संस्कृति इज टेलिंग.
अर्नब, आप जहाँ पे जा रहे हो वहां पे मैं जाऊंगा. अभी लाइट को लाइट ही समझो. ठीक है, आप जहाँ पे जा रहे हो यही तो जल्दी नहीं करना है ना.
No. So if my thought is coming from
मैं समझ रहा हूँ आप. मैं समझ रहा हूँ. That's the next step. आप जहाँ पे जा रहे हो अभी लाइट को लाइट ही समझो. लाइट ओनली. इनर लाइट. When somebody is asked ना तत्र तमेव भान्तम अनुभाति सर्वम तस्य भास सर्वम इदम विभाति. ठीक है,
so that
लाइट
bhati,
भी है.
is it called in English light correctly is what my question is coming, because when I'm thinking about it,
अभी I'm talking about light only. Light said the where you are going, I'll go there. अभी I'm talking about light only. Image, अभी मैं बोल रहा हूँ image, mind, everything is inert. It cannot contain its own light. अगर होता तो मैं यहाँ पे मुझे इलेक्ट्रिसिटी की जरूरत पड़ती नहीं है. इसका कॉन्टेक्स्ट समझो. This concept was generated at a time जब डे लाइट के बाहर लोगों को लाइट जलाने के लिए, लाइट के लिए बहुत स्ट्रगल करना पड़ता था. ठीक है, they wondered why my dream, if I imagine an image of a sun in midnight, in pitch dark midnight, how that sun looks illumined. अभी तो मैं इसी लाइट, नॉर्मल लाइट की बात कर रहा हूं. ठीक है, अभी मतलब are we on the same page? Then I'll go to the direction where Arnab is going. Okay. Now this light, जो लाइट की हम लोग बात कर रहे हैं, ठीक है, लाइट तो है. This is of the nature of light. इसीलिए इसको बोला गया तमो प्रकाश में प्रकाश की नेचर की है. ये जो लाइट है, it illumines the images, true, but it's not a light as it is described in physics. It's not a stream of photon. वो actually है क्या? Like what we discussed, Sanskriti, in a dark room, when you switch on the light, the room gets revealed. This light has the property of revealing. It reveals the images that is captured, that are inert in form of light, but also it reveals everything else. Are you being able to appreciate this point? अब image को सबसे पहले image को सोचो, then the light that is illuminating the image. Okay, attention वाला part. Attention is see. अच्छा attention last में लेंगे क्योंकि उससे पहले consciousness तक पहुंचते हैं, उसके बाद attention पे जाएंगे. The image that is inert, उस पे light गिर रहा है, that is your inner light. वही light is light not only that is revealing the image that is captured, it is also revealing a lot of other things like your sensations, your feelings. It is a revealer of everything. Are we on the same page? ठीक है. अभी ठीक है, इसको अभी लाइट में फिर से वापस जाते हैं, because light is something which मतलब it was fun reflecting after listening to this our revered whomever I have heard it from for the first time. So as revealer, अभी मुझे बताओ डीप स्लीप, आप सपने देख रहे हो, सपने देखते देखते आप सो गए, you went off to deep sleep. डीप स्लीप में क्या हुआ? Is there light? वो लाइट रहती है, नहीं रहती है? Anybody else? Tapanda is saying नहीं रहती है. पता नहीं. Okay, पता नहीं is an interesting question, interesting answer. Anything? I'll try to put it into perspective. So in deep sleep, what's happening? While we're dreaming, I am throwing that light as light only, light on some images. ठीक है, जहां पे वो लाइट जा रहा है वहां पे जाके वो मुझे दिख रहा है. If the supply of the images stops, then what happens? Light will remain, but there will be nothing on which the light will basically टकराव by and reflect back to my eyes. In space is absolutely illumined, still it looks dark. अब चांद में जाओगे, आप देखोगे the ground in the moon, no, I have not been to moon, sorry, मैंने फोटो देखा है, ठीक है. So the ground, the मिट्टी is absolutely illumined, but the sky is black. तो डीप स्लीप में अकॉर्डिंग टू वेदांता, बट डीप स्लीप में यहाँ पे बहुत सारे वो भी है, जो आप माइंड इज रिक्रिएटिंग लाइट, दैट इज आल्सो proposed by another one school of Buddhism, बट उसमें हम नहीं जाएंगे, we'll stick to one school. उसका आर्गुमेंट क्या है? लास्ट वाले का आर्गुमेंट ये था कि फोटोग्राफ्स आर इनर्ट, कभी सन का फोटो तो वो नहीं करता है, इल्यूमिन नहीं करता है. इसका आर्गुमेंट क्या है? द डीप स्लीप एज एक्सप्लेन्ड इन वेदांता इज द एब्सेंस ऑफ प्रत्यय or absence itself as pratyaya. In deep sleep, there is only one vritti which is called abhava. Absence of these images, जो जिस image की हम बात कर रहे हैं, जिसको हम प्रत्यय बोलते हैं. Is there this light, this illuminer or not? There definitely is. What is the logic in favor of that? आप जब जागते हो नींद से, उसके बाद जाके आपको लगता है आई स्लेप्ट वेल. Where is this continuity coming from? There has to be this light which is thrown internally, but it is not getting an object to get reflected and to come back to my eyes or the inner eye in this case. That is deep sleep. Are we agreeing on deep sleep? ठीक है, क्वेश्चन है. संस्कृति is looking a little confused. कुछ तो क्वेश्चन है, बता दो.
नहीं क्वेश्चन नहीं है।
अरे कितना जल्दी आज टाइम चला गया, तो मुझे लगता नहीं कि थर्ड टॉपिक में हम पहुंच पाएंगे। सो ठीक है, एनीवेज इसी को अच्छी तरह से कर लेते हैं। नाउ द क्वेश्चन ऑफ द क्वेश्चंस, इसको लाइट समझ के ही आप बोलो। अब ये आर यू अप्रिशिएटिंग द नेचर ऑफ दिस लाइट? स्टे ऑन दैट लाइट, ठीक है। एंड ये जो मैं जो बोल रहा हूँ इसका रिकॉर्डिंग हो रहा है, यू कैन एक्सेस दिस वीडियो, बाद में जाके ये पार्ट सुनना। दिस इज द बिगेस्ट रिफ्लेक्शन पॉइंटर दैट आई गॉट within the discussion of this part. To operate in the waking world, to see the light, to see the sun, do you need this inner light or not? जिस लाइट की हम लोग बात कर रहे हैं, देखो ये प्रत्यय की बात तो हम कर लिए, इमेज तो we have accepted, images are inert. Image of a sun cannot illumine the world. Image of a sun, image of a tube light cannot illumine the room. Waking world में भी तो मैं इमेज ही देख रहा हूं। So this inner light, I have to throw that inner light even on the sun to see the inert image of the sun that is reflecting on my retina. आप इसको सोचो, बहुत अच्छी तरह से सोचो। ये if you are able to come to an agreement, this is absolutely counterintuitive. If you are able to come to an agreement with this, considering this light, not the light of the lights. अब ये लास्ट वाला पॉइंट पे लाइट ऑफ द लाइट्स आता है। ज्योतिर ज्योति उजलरिदि कंदर, why it is called light of the lights? This last point, इसको लाइट पकड़ के एकदम फिजिकल लाइट जैसा सोच के अगर इस पॉइंट तक आप पहुंचे इन योर रिफ्लेक्शन जर्नी, आई प्रॉमिस यू इट्स एन एक्सट्रीमली पावरफुल पॉइंटर।
अच्छा, I don't know whether it is related or not, but some scientific, arguments also say कि the moon exists as long as I am seeing it. क्या वो लॉजिक यहाँ पे क्लिक हो रहा है?
सर नहीं, वो लॉजिक इसमें नहीं आ रहा है, इसीलिए मैं वेदांत को आप थोड़ा प्लीज बाहर रखिए। आप जिसकी बात कर रहे हो दैट इज हार्डकोर दृष्टि सृष्टिवाद। आई एम विद इन द प्रीमाइस ऑफ सृष्टि दृष्टिवाद। ये मैं तो मतलब आई हैव टेकन द एक्सटर्नल वर्ल्ड एज रियल, इसीलिए तो मैं सन की बात कर रहा हूँ, सन की इमेज की बात कर रहा हूँ। मैं नहीं बोल रहा हूँ कि इमेज ही है सन नहीं है। मैं जब बोलूंगा कि इमेज ही है सन नहीं है, तब जाके वो प्रीमाइस में हम लोग घुसेंगे। This is the basic, the most simplest of all schools, जहाँ पे मैं बोल रहा हूँ सन है, लेकिन सन का इमेज मेरे अंदर आ रहा है, and that image is an inert image. There has to be an external light which is needed to illumine that image. Without that external light, I cannot illumine that image, that memory. उसके लिए मेरा आर्गुमेंट क्या है? सन का पिक्चर से लाइट नहीं आता है, तो मेमोरी कैनॉट रिक्रिएट द लाइट। ये है मेरा आर्गुमेंट, ठीक है। अब आर्गुमेंट अभी टेक्निकली इफ यू आस्क मी, देयर कैन बी 3 sources of light. One can be external sources which can be falsified then and there, because if you sit in a dark midnight and in the midnight if you try to imagine sun, it will be as illumined. So external light तो ये है नहीं। So there can be two ways. One, what Arnab said, I am recreating the memory of light. Second can be, this is the light of I, asmat. ठीक है। The memory of light cannot be created. इसके favor में argument ये है, see, I am a non-sectarian. I never say that Advait is correct and other schools are wrong. I am just giving the argument in favor of that. ये क्यों नहीं हो सकता? Because the image, mind is an inert object We have classified mind into योस्मत. Inert object के अंदर by nature light होते नहीं है, so the image that is stored in mind will also not have light. Argument यही दिया जाता है इसके against, वो sun and sun का picture इसके favor में. But there is a school in Buddhism which is the mind only school, Yogacara school. They say that this is recreated within mind. क्यों बोलते हैं? क्योंकि उनका तो I है ही नहीं. Last class we discussed about two hay bales, प्रतीत समुत्पाद. ठीक है. So this is what. So I think we are left with 4 minutes. I leave you at that. इसके बाद भी जो मैं आज डिस्कस करने वाला था, had it picked up well in the first 15-20 minutes, that is again something very counterintuitive and very complicated. Let me create the hook for the next class. But next class में please आप arrange ऐसे करिए कि आप लोग कैमरा ऑन कर पाए, नहीं तो ठीक है, प्लीज ये कर लीजिए. करने के बाद तो नेक्स्ट क्लास व्हाट आई एम प्लानिंग टू डू इज, ये जो हम इतना जो एक्सकवेशन करके जहां तक पहुंच रहे हैं और पहुंचने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, पहुंच नहीं रहे हैं. इट्स लाइक आई एम पॉइंटिंग द फिंगर टू मून. जब आप करोगे देखोगे कि मून एंड फिंगर एट द सेम प्लेस. वैसा हो रहा है. मून अभी फिंगर से बहुत दूर है. व्हाट इज दैट? सो देयर इज अ नोशन, देयर इज अ misconception that might happen at this point. We are talking about परमात्मा. No, बहुत दूर है वो. This is something else. वो something else क्या है, वही थोड़ा बहुत उस पर प्रकाश डालने का आज I wanted to throw some light on that, but time is limited and I am left with only 2 minutes. If there is any quick observation, quick thought, you may want to table that. सी, मैं जब पहली बार ये आर्गुमेंट्स, ये सब चीजें, ये स्टेप्स सुना था, आई ऑल्सो फेल्ट इट टू बी अटरली काउंटर इंट्यूटिव, अटरली कंफ्यूजिंग. अब थोड़ा इसमें टाइम दो, थोड़ा. माई सिंसियर अर्ज वुड बी कि इसको थोड़ा सोचो, आप इस पर थोड़ा मनन करो. इफ यू डू दैट and if you are able to come to terms with what I am saying as light only, not the light of lights. आज हमने light से light of light तक का जर्नी तय किया. Then I think it will be something good, something robust to understand. ठीक है. I think let's keep it at that only. किसी का कोई है ऑब्जर्वेशन, क्विक थॉट?
I think anybody have any questions? I think no. Then Arnav, please stop the recording.